Welcome to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 216216. I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, and should be an interesting show tonight. We've got Jerry Norton and myself running things as Pace and Jamil prepare for their Squad Up Summit that is going on all week long in Orlando, Florida. If you're here with us, welcome. Thank you for participating. I wanted to break this down because I think that this is really important. And this is a really good checklist that you can use. If you're ever wondering what are the exact steps to every single wholesale transaction, you know, how do I stay organized so that I know what to expect next? If you've never done a deal before, maybe you've done a few and there's kind of like some blind spots that you have that you don't really understand, you know, what's going on or what happens next. Here, take a screenshot of this, keep it in your phone, and this will really help you out. Number one is your lead generation method. Guys, nothing happens without finding some opportunities. It's the absolute fact. Nothing happens. We could talk about real estate investing. We could talk about wholesaling deals. We can talk about the potential of all of real estate and real estate investing, but nothing happens without lead generation. Nothing happens without being able to solve the problems of a property owner. And that's exactly what we're looking for. All right. What we're looking for is who. Every single morning you should be waking up with this question on your mind. Who can I help today? Who can I find that has a personal problem with their property, and how can I go out there and help solve that problem with a offer? And typically what's going to happen, guys, and you're going to notice this, is it's going to be a cash as is offer. Right? It's not the only type of offer, but when you find somebody that wants to sell their property, and that's truly the definition of a lead is somebody that has made the decision that they're going to sell their property. There's really only four paths to go down. Now, the paths kind of take twists and turns and kind of split off into all sorts of different directions, but really the four main paths are a cash as is offer, a creative finance offer, a novation offer, or a listing the property for them on the open market, on the MLS, or basically taking that property and putting it on the retail market. Those are the four paths that you follow. And when you're getting started, to start building up your momentum, to start building up your experience level, to start building up a big, healthy, heavy bank account, I highly suggest you learn how to make cash as is offers. Okay, that means that you have to go out and find properties that need significant investment, because there's not really any room for us to go and make cash as is offers at full market value. No. What we want to do is we want to make cash as is offers on the properties that, with the right repairs, with the right upgrades, with the right updating, those properties are going to sell for as much as possible. And I think that this is really important here. I'm going to be jumping all around here, guys. But if you're wondering, what do I offer these people that have these properties that need significant investment? Here is a really, really, really good tool for you guys to be able to use. All right. The first one is at $250,000 or more, you're going to offer around 50% if it needs significant investment. All right. If it needs significant repairs, if it's between 250,000 and 100,000, you want to be at about 35%. And if you're at 100,000 or less, offer 10%. By the way, guys, Jerry's about 10 minutes out. He'll be on here in about 10 minutes to join me, and we're going to be answering your questions. So this is a really great opportunity. If you're working on a deal, or if you feel like there's some sort of mental hiccup that you have with anything that has to do with investing or flipping, we'd love to answer those questions. Also, take the opportunity, guys, in the chat to make sure you post where you live and do business. All right. I want you to consider this chat right here, your ability to network with people that obviously are interested in wholesaling real estate, obviously interested in building a rental portfolio, obviously interested in flipping properties. So make sure that you get loud in the comments section here, guys, so that you can connect with unbelievable people that maybe they're a few steps ahead of you. Maybe they're running parallel with you, and they're going to really help to cheerlead you and support you. But do not do this business alone. Do not do this business alone. It is so much more difficult if you try to do this by yourself. They say if you want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, go with others, and it's the absolute truth. So we're about 9 minutes away from Jerry Norton being on here. Hopefully, maybe a little bit sooner. I don't know. He's arriving in Orlando for the Squad Up Summit, and Pace and Jamil will not be joining us tonight because they are at the dinner there. And so I know that there's thousands of unbelievable real estate wholesalers and creative finance wizards and all sorts of incredible people at that event here this week. So I'm just filling in here, trying to give you guys as much resources as possible so that you can go out there confidently and find the absolute best deals. All right. But this is going to really help you. When I was getting started, I was very confused on what I should offer. You know, when you're getting started, it's like, okay, is this a deal or not a deal? Right? That's the first kind of step. That's the first kind of hurdle that you face. And then you go, okay, it's a deal, but then how big of a deal is it? Right? When we're starting out, it's all about getting deals, getting consistent deals. That's kind of the step one. Step two is increasing the amount that you make per deal. And then step three is implementing the systems, implementing the processes so that you can really build efficiently, so that you can really build a actual business and not just be self-employed, not just kind of trade your time and effort that you would be putting into a job for another job, right? But that's how we start out. That's how we start out. We start out with grit. We start out with a hustle season. We start out with a fire in our belly to go out there and find really great deals. And then we build and build and build and build and build from there. All right. So let's go back here just so that everybody that's joining us here understands the 17 steps to every wholesale deal. Make sure you screenshot this. Make sure that you have this in front of you when you're putting together your deal so that you know what happens next. So number one is lead generation methods. Number two, you got to make contact. You got to have a quality conversation with a property owner. And what does that mean? That means that you discover 4 things in that conversation. 4 pillars that we call of pre-qualifying. And that is the condition of the property, their timeline to sell that property, their motivation to sell that property, and their price. All right. You find those 4 things, you've got a qualified lead. All right. And don't worry if the property's in great shape and they should just put it on the market. Great. Refer them to a real estate agent. Keep moving forward. What we're looking for are ugly properties, because ugly properties equal big checks. Write it down. Ugly properties equal big checks. And also something that when I was getting started, it was first, okay, is this a deal or not a deal? The second thing that was really tough for me was I was trying to create deals. You're not going to do it. We're deal finders, not deal creators. Really understand that. We're deal finders, not deal creators. We're never going to convince somebody to sell their property. We're never going to convince somebody to sell their property to us. Now we can go in there with the skills and the abilities of negotiating and pre-qualifying and doing effective, aggressive lead follow-up. Absolutely. Absolutely. We can do all of those to put us in a better chance, but we're not going to, there's no like magic elixir. There's no magic words that we can use that all of a sudden we're going to put these property owners under some sort of spell. It's not going to happen. All right. It's not going to happen. But what we can do is we can consistently have quality conversations with distressed property owners and see if they're ready to solve their problem and see if the best option for them is a cash offer. All right. So pre-qualify them, right? Condition, timeline, motivation, price. And then after we've spoke to the property owner and we know that they want to sell their property, they've made the decision, they're going to sign the documents that is going to transfer ownership from them to somebody else. That's when you start doing your due diligence. That's when you start comping the properties. That's when you start looking at, okay, how much is this going to cost to repair this? We don't do this beforehand. Stop comping properties before you know that they want to sell it. Don't comp properties before you know they want to sell it. Don't go and put together rehab budgets for a property before you know that they want to sell it. Don't just assume that because they put it on the market and it's in rough shape that they're going to take 50% of what it's listed at. Do your due diligence after you've had a conversation with either the property owner or the agent themselves. All right. Lead follow-up sequence. All right. This is very simple. There's 3 types of leads. There's hot leads. There's warm leads. There's cold leads. Hot leads, they're going to sell this property in the next 30 days. They're going to sell it. They're ready to go, baby. They're going to sell in the next 30 days. Warm leads are between 30 and 90 days. So in the next 30 to 90 days, they're going to sell their property. And then cold leads are anything that they're going to take longer than 3 months before they make a decision on who's going to buy their property. And so if you've got a hot lead, you want to talk to them every single day. Every single day. You want to be in front of that property owner because the fact is 80% of the calls that you make will go unanswered. They're not going to answer it. So leave the voicemail, send the text. Leave the voicemail, send the text. You want to over communicate. You're never going to lose deals by lack of by excess follow-up. You will lose them by lack of follow-up. And so make sure that you are aggressive with your lead follow-up sequence. All right? Awesome. Next, appointment. Are you going to be doing a virtual appointment or are you going to be in person? I have found, statistically speaking, and somebody could certainly argue this if they had the facts, but from what I have seen from working with over 3,500 wholesalers is when you go in person, the deals are bigger. When somebody on your team or you go in person, the deals are bigger. That's it. You know, if it's virtual, that's fine. You could certainly lock those up. You could certainly be efficient with it. But just make sure that you have a very specific offer presentation, right? And that's the next point is how are you presenting the offer? You don't want to be presenting an offer too soon. You want to discover what's going on. The discovery process with a property owner should be 80% of what the conversation is all about. 20% is the property, but we want to find out what's going on with the person. Why do they want to sell this property? What problems does this property have that really affects that person personally? All right. That's going to be absolutely incredible. Thank you, Kiva. We're all here holding it down with Brent. I love it. You want me to ring that bell? I'll ring the bell. Come on. Victory bell. Guys, if you have put a property under contract, if you sold a property, if you talked to a property owner today, make sure you put it in the comments section. Matt is going to be selecting these and we're going to be ringing the victory bell. Any questions that you guys have, make sure that you put it in the chat. We're going to be answering all those questions. And Jerry Norton should be jumping on at any moment here to help out to answer some of these questions. An absolute expert. He's been in the business about a year. I think he started in 2003. I started in 2004. So between us, we've got 41 years of experience to be able to answer your questions. So make sure that you are brave, have some courage, put in your questions into the chat here, and we'll make sure that we get them answered for you. All right. Now, what happens when they accept your offer? Right? Like, it's all nice. It's all cool when you're just talking to the property owners and going on the appointments. What happens when they actually say yes? What happens when they sign the purchase agreement and now you have to perform? Now you have to move forward, right? So it's a beautiful day. It's an exciting day. I want everybody to experience this multiple times a week this week. All right, let's put into practice what I'm talking about today on today's show. Let's put this in practice because I'm going to show you a breakdown of which blueprints are going to be the best for you when you're getting started out, which marketing, where you should be putting your marketing efforts and your marketing budget based on certain factors. We'll get into that in just a second. But once they accept it, oh my gosh, it's incredible. You're like, yes. Oh my gosh, I've got this opportunity. This is real. And when you have that agreement signed, unless it otherwise states it, you have the exclusive right to purchase that property. And the exclusive right is an asset. And you could sell that asset to somebody else in your marketplace that wants to take on that project, or you take it on yourself. But you have that option now. You have that option once you have the contract accepted. And then you open up escrow with the title company or closing attorney. You deposit your earnest deposit. And that could be anywhere from $1. That could be 1% of the purchase price. It could be 10 grand. I think I put $40,000 was the biggest earnest deposit that I've put down before. Smoking deal, no brainer. So it kind of varies there, but an earnest deposit basically says, hey, listen, I'm serious about this deal. And if I breach the contract, you get this money. Right. And so property owners like having that security. And so you deposit the earnest money. It's not required in all states. Check if it's required in your state to be what's called consideration. All right. Next, you're going to market your property to your cash buyers. You're going to either get on the phone and start calling them. You're going to send a text message to the people that you trust. Maybe you send an email. Maybe you list it on the MLS. Whatever it is that's in your purchase agreement is the way that you get loud about this opportunity to your cash buyers. They then typically want to see the property. They're going to walk through it. And then they say, yes, I want it. Then you assign that contract. You assign the agreement over to them. The assignment agreement is the second part of the puzzle, right? The first part is the purchase agreement. The second part is the assignment agreement. All right. Two totally different documents. Once you sign it over, that's going to say how much you make. Then you want to make sure that the buyer puts in their earnest deposit. You want to make sure that the title company does their job and gets that deal clear to close. There's no title issues clogging up the transaction. You get the you check to make sure that the buyer's funds are going to get there on time. You close the deal and you get paid. You get paid, baby. So that is 17 steps to every single wholesale deal. If you have any questions, make sure you put it in the chat so that you can go and take massive imperfect action this week. Now, this is very critical. When you're getting started out, there is some marketing that you should do and some that you should avoid, in my opinion. All right. I've seen people get absolutely destroyed by spending way too much money before they have the skills, before they have the schedule, before they have the resources to be able to convert deals. It doesn't mean that you don't have the desire to, it doesn't mean you don't have the hunger to, but I break this down into 8 different categories, and there's 3 main factors for these 8 different categories. All right. The factors are you part-time or full-time? Are you part-time or full-time? Because that's going to affect you. Do you have no money for marketing, or do you have a good budget? And are you brand new, or are you experienced? Now you'll look across there, you'll see direct mail, referral, TTP, SMS, which is cold calling and text messaging. You've got hiring VAs to do the work for you. You've got pay-per-click to buy inbound leads for pay-per-click, and you've got pay per lead. Now, let me explain what's going on here, guys, because this is really important. And Jerry is in a car or something right now. I see him here. He'll join us here. Anytime you want, Jerry, pop in here. A lot of people are excited to see you. But right here is, I think that you could keep your budget really small with direct mail. I'm not talking about spending, tens of thousands. I'm saying just get some handwritten cards, like thank you size cards, and simply write the owner's name. Tell them that you're interested in giving them an offer on their property. Make sure you put the property address, and then put a real stamp on it and send it to them. All right. Very easy to keep a small budget here. Very easy to be able to pick up those calls when they come. Now, here's the tip with direct mail. Make sure it's very, very, very specific, very sniper approach, that you're going after the ugliest properties or the properties that have the best potential. Okay. That could be an AI generated list. That could be you're driving for dollars. That could be probate or inherited lists. All these things, guys, you can get at propwire.com. Propwire.com. That is Jerry's free resource to pulling all of these lists. It's absolutely bananas. It's a huge, huge, huge tool that you can use right away to get to those distressed property lists. All right. Now, very specific with your direct mail. Referral. Guys, this is what I want you to do. Can I get into Matt, can I get into my Facebook or no?
Yeah, and then just share your screen.
Share my screen. Present.
Go to click present.
Share screen right here. Boom. I'm going to go right there. This is what I want you guys to do. All right. Right in here. What I want you to do is I want you to go into the groups page, and I just want you to type in real estate and your area. So I'm in Arizona, real estate, Arizona, right? Boom. This is what I want you guys to do after this, or do it simultaneously. Don't stop watching our show here, though. Get into these groups, join the groups, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to go in. I'll go into Phoenix RIA here, and then you go to the members section. See this right here? The members section, okay? Members section. And then I want you to go to add friend until Facebook tells you can't do it anymore. But get to 5,000 friends that are in real estate as fast as possible. All right. Jerry can't hear us. We can hear Jerry.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Jerry.
Hey, sorry I'm all dark and stuff. We're in the car heading over to the hotel, but I thought I'd jump in.
We're losing you now. But Jerry's on his way, and he will come in intermittently whenever he has service. But guys, request all the friends that you can. Get to 5,000, and then what I want you to do is every single day, post a story. Post a story and say, I buy houses, and put your phone number. Put DM me. I buy houses. I'm looking to buy houses. Send me your deals. I buy houses. I buy houses. I buy houses. I am telling you, this is going to open up so many random opportunities for you to build an unbelievable referral base. All right. The louder that you are in your social media, on your stories, and the more friends that you have that are in real estate, whether they be investors, whether they be hard money lenders, whether they work in title and escrow or closing departments, whether they are wholesalers, investors, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, it doesn't matter. It's all going to be beneficial for you to say, I buy houses, and they're going to see it over and over and over and over and over. And then all of a sudden they're going to start trusting you. They're going to start working with you. Right. And then all of a sudden you're going to be able to get referrals out of nowhere, out of absolutely nowhere. And then all of a sudden you're getting these free referrals coming in, and people go, well, what are you looking to buy? I'm looking for original condition properties or properties that need significant investment. That's what I'm looking to buy. And I can make quick decisions. I'm ready to go. I just need you to send me these opportunities. I am telling you, nobody on here can go, oh, well, I did that for 90 days straight and posted every single day, Monday through Sunday, and nothing happened. It's impossible. It is absolutely impossible. Watch what happens. This is free, guys. This is absolutely free. We're building momentum to be able to get inbound hot leads from pay-per-click, from direct mail, from being able to hire VAs to bring in some deals, right? To get to these upper levels right here, right? But when you're starting out, don't hire a VA to think that you're going to pay $4 or $5 an hour and they're going to send you deals. They don't have critical thinking skills. It's not going to happen. You're wasting your money. You're absolutely wasting your money. But once you get once you start building up a little bit of experience and a little bit of budget, then you can start opening it up. Then you can start hiring some VAs. Then you can start doing pay per lead. A lot of people are getting results from ispeedtolead.com. ispeedtolead.com. It's a pay per lead setup. They literally have a marketplace of people that this company, Gene at that company, I just had an interview with Gene, and they spend $300,000 a month getting leads for our industry, right? And on the weekends, here's a little cheat code there. On the weekends, if somebody didn't buy those leads, maybe they're in small markets or whatever else, they sell them for like nothing, like $9. Now, some of the leads are more expensive, but once you have a budget and you have experience, you can start getting into some pay per lead, and it's very, very, very strong. If you use TTP as your checkout code in iSpeed to Lead, it gives you $50. Gives you $50. So here's $50 for your first leads if you want to get to pay per lead. But if you have some money, if you're part-time and you have some money, or you're full-time and you have some money, it's a good option. If you don't have a tremendous amount of money and you're just building momentum here, work on your referrals, spend $20 a month, $20 a week or a month, whatever, on some direct mail, right? Start reaching out to property owners. You can get as many phone numbers as you want from cyberbackgroundchecks.com, True People Search. If you've got dealmachine.com, they give you free skip tracing for like 10,000 addresses. Yeah, I mean, there's literally no barriers to entry when it comes to being able to build up your pipeline of opportunities. All right. But stick to the plan here, guys. If you're part-time and you have money and you've got experience, stay away from the only thing I want you staying away from is pay-per-click. If you're part-time, you've got some money and you're new, same thing. I mean, pretty much the same thing, except for if you do have a budget, I would call and text. I would do both. All right. And then you go full-time. Full-time, no money, new, pretty much the same as part-time. And then all the way down at the bottom is where we want to be. This is where I'm at. With pay-per-click, you need to have experience. You really need to have some experience, because if you don't, the other guys in your market that do have experience are going to beat you up. They're going to beat you to the lead. They're going to beat you with their ability to negotiate. They're going to have more experience knowing the potential of certain properties. So make sure that you follow this chart. Follow this chart. Everybody on here should be posting every single day to Facebook story, or to, I like Instagram, post it to Instagram. It'll go to Facebook. I buy houses, and put your phone number. I buy houses, put your phone number. I buy houses, DM me. Do it every single day. Do it every single day, and it'll go bananas. All right. Awesome. There you go. The other thing here is, I'm going to go, is it this one? Here's a 30-day action plan. If you guys are just wondering what to do. 30-day action plan is, you got to talk to 10 new property owners every single day. 10 new homeowners every single day. That's what we need to do. All right. Talk to 10 new property. That's minimum standard is 50 a week. Now, the stats will show us that every 200 people that we talk to that's on some sort of motivated property list, we should get a deal. Every 200 that we talk to, not our VAs. VAs is more like 4,000. Truly, if you have VAs that you pay anywhere from $4 to $10, it's 1 out of 4,000 conversations. Okay. Next, add 100 driving for dollars each week. I saw that there was a question on does driving for dollars work? 1,000%. 80% of new real estate investors are getting their first deals from driving for dollars. Yeah, there it is. They're getting their first deals from driving for dollars. So make sure that you are starting to build it up. I mean, it's not rocket science. If a property is in rough shape, they can only sell to a cash buyer. Banks won't take the risk. All right. Number 3, do it here in this group every Monday, or join me Wednesday. I go for 3 hours on the Brent Daniels YouTube channel. Squat up with 2 established wholesalers. Squat up with somebody doing this business. If you are not surrounding yourself with people doing this business, it's going to be very difficult to stay motivated and to stay focused. So make sure that you're squatting up with 2 established wholesalers. Number 4 is comp 5 properties a day so that you understand how to evaluate properties. Number 5 is difficult for a lot of people. But if you're driving alone in your car, no more music. Audible, podcasts, YouTube. There's just, you got to cram in as much positivity and as much optimism and as much instruction as possible every single day. All right. Listen to music when you're getting ready. Listen to it on the treadmill and at pool parties. But time to elevate. Time to put really, really good stuff in. Because I will tell you this, without a doubt, being an entrepreneur is going to be the biggest, hardest challenge that you've ever experienced. Nothing's even close to it. Nothing. So you got to surround yourself with incredible, incredible minds, incredible thoughts. Number 6 is reading every single day, right? At least 50 pages a week. Put it in. We get to spend time with the most brilliant minds ever. Such an advantage that we have. Make sure you do that. Make sure you watch The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale every single day. Turn your car into a university of success. 100%. 100%. Hey guys, Mike needs a rental. If you got some rentals for him, make sure that you reach out to Mike here. Awesome. Takedown method for this property. Let me see. All right. Eric, I think I should do a takedown method for this property I have instead of wholesaling. However, this is my first deal. Any tips? I have it under contract right now. I like it. Eric, I like taking down. Hold on. Let me go full screen here. I like taking down the properties, right? One, you're in complete control, so nobody can steal the deal from you. This is a tip that I would suggest everybody listen to. And it might sound like it's a big lift, but it really isn't. Number 1 is understand what transactional funding is. Okay. If you already have a buyer that's going to buy your deal, you can get 100% financing from a transactional funder. Now, anywhere in town, across the country, you can reach out to hard money lenders and get the cash that you need to purchase properties, right? Typically, they're going to want 20% down. Sometimes you can get it to 10% down, but for the most part, it's going to be 20% down, right? And so you can raise those funds with anybody that trusts you and sees what you're doing, especially if you're posting every single day to Facebook, I buy houses. There's a reason that Home Investors, the biggest real estate investing franchise ever, literally has we buy houses, we buy houses, we buy houses, we buy houses everywhere because it works. So make sure that you're doing it. But you should be able to find some money partners for that or fund it yourself. But I like it. If you could close the deal, then you have more options. You could clean it up, put it right back on the market. You can clean it up, put it out to your cash buyer database and not worry about snakes coming in and trying to steal your deal. And talk to the property owner and try to convince them to work with them instead of you. And so, yeah, I think it's a smart move, Eric. If you've got the finances, if you've got the money, go for it. 100%. I think at some point you transition into closing most of your deals as a real estate entrepreneur. You know, I love assigning it because there's no risk and it's more profitable. But if I have to, I'm going to close on that deal, or if it's a big deal and I don't want anybody knowing about it until I'm ready to tell them about it, until I own it. That would be really, it's an effective strategy for sure, Eric. So go for it. Yeah. Let's get the money, Michael. Awesome. Signed up for Astro. Go get it. Absolutely. That is awesome. Do we have questions in the queue, Matt? Okay. Somebody asked, Walker asked, can you subject to an SBA economic injury and disaster loan? I have no idea what that is. If somebody in the comments can reach out to Walker here and see if there's any response there, but I would assume no. But who knows? I mean, you might be able to subject to any kind of loan, but I don't know if you'd want to. I don't know. Edwin. Hey, Brent. Thanks. Are you pulling any land lists? Part 2, are there any AI land lists? I use PropWire for my land list. Yeah, absolutely, Edwin. Yeah, you can certainly pull in. I'll show you here. Let me share this with you. This is Flip Finder here. This is my version of RealFlow, which is an incredible tool. And flipfinder.ai, that's ours. And you'll see here there's scores. There's AI scores, a wholesale score. And we usually go for 700 or more. It goes up to 1,000. But these are the most likely properties to sell in the next 90 days, 6 months. It kind of depends. But yeah. I mean, you could go in here and you could get into the hold on. Let me get over here. Let me go to land. Go land. And then you could pull a list on land and then be able to go through those. There's only 7 here, but I've just got it for just Phoenix. So it's probably not a huge list, but you can certainly pull that list. And I really like this. PropWire does a fantastic job. It's just a different tool. I really like this because it has the AI. They've taken all the demographics of all the properties that have sold over the last 40 years, like the owner demographics, and then they smush them with the characteristics of the properties, and they give you the most likely people to sell. And we use that, and it works out really well. And people in the Rhino tribe really enjoy it as well. So there you go. What else we got, Matt? Man Bun Real Estate needs a Gator lender for a semi-long-term hold, 6 to 8 months in Phoenix, Arizona. If anybody is a Gator, make sure that that you reach out to them. Young Bruce here says, I was told it's illegal in California for licensed agents to work with wholesaler in a wholesale agreement. We've done a lot of, we have a lot of incredible students in California. So maybe some misinformation there, but if somebody's in California and can clear us out, that'd be awesome. Talk to young Bruce, but Bruce, yeah, I mean, I've got some incredible wholesalers in California that have done really, really, really well. So I don't know if that's really it. Laura, can you give me an example of a deal done where no out of pocket money is used? Yeah, I love that. Laura, you could go out right now. You can go out right now. Well, you could go to PropWire if you just want to pull list, propwire.com. That's Jerry's. I've got it right here. Jerry, here we go. Let me share this with everybody. You got PropWire. That is a free resource. You could pull a bunch of lists here. Boom. Share. There we go. And this is Jerry's prop wire. It's totally free. It's verifying I'm human. But there you go. You could pull a bunch of lists here. You can see all these different lead types that he's got here, which are fantastic. So you could pull all of these. You could pull vacant lots. You could pull zombie properties. You could go and you can drive around town and just find ugly properties, Laura, right? And then you could go to True People Finder or cyberbackgroundchecks.com, get their phone number, and call them up and ask them if they would consider an offer on their property. You can post every single day. I don't know if you're just jumping on now, but post every single day that you buy houses in your social media stories. And then go to Facebook, guys, go to Facebook, type in real estate in whatever state you're in, whatever area you're in. If you're in some of the bigger states like Texas or California or Florida or whatever, and and you can friend request a ton of people in real estate and then post every single day, I buy houses, I buy houses, I buy houses. Watch what happens. $0 there. $0. You could call up real estate agents that you go into Zillow, right? You can go right into Zillow and you could search for the properties that you know are lower priced. Let's say it's in Dallas, and Dallas has a median sale price of $430,000. You look for all the properties that are on the market at 50%, like 215 and below. And then you call up those listing agents that have these really, really beat up houses, these fire damaged houses, these vacant, totally gutted houses, all these things. And you can ask them if they have other properties that are similar to this, or you could start negotiating with those properties. Right? You do all that. If guys, there's plenty more. So make sure that you, if you're in here and you have an idea of how to go and get free leads and free deals, to post it here. You don't have to have a huge budget, Laura. You don't have to have a huge budget for everybody, right? You do if you want to have inbound leads that are hot, that want to sell right away, and they're big deals. Yeah, you're going to spend some money on pay-per-click. Yeah, you're going to spend some money on doing bigger direct mail. Yeah, you're going to spend some money on billboards or TV commercials or radio commercials or whatever. But I'll tell you what, those inbound leads, woo-wee. That's how you build it. I had a lunch today. I had a 2-hour lunch with the marketing manager of a company here in Phoenix that did $14 million in wholesale and listing fees. $1 million of that was listing fees to agents. 13 million of that was wholesale and flips. Not much flips, mostly wholesale. Spent $3 million in marketing. Right? Kim, I am on at Central Time. So it's 10 o'clock Pacific. So I'm not sure it's Central, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. So I go 10 to 1. We go 3 hours on the Brent Daniels YouTube channel. But that's how you do it. But once you get to that point, once you guys start moving down this right here, right? And you start understanding different lead generation blueprints and you start moving down to the very bottom. That's when your team grows. That's when you need a lot of inbound leads. It's fine. You can listen, everybody. If you just follow this right here, make sure that you're talking to 10 new property owners a day, 50 a week, and you're adding these things and you're doing all these things and you do this consistently, it would shock me if you don't make 6 figures. Shock me. Absolutely shock me. You'd have to get distracted along the way, get shiny object syndrome, right? This business comes down to conversations and offers. The more people you talk to, the more offers you make, the more money you're going to make. It's an absolute fact. So every day that goes by and you don't talk to a new property owner or make new offers, it's tough. I just talked to Ryan Zolan today. We used to do an incredible show called Millionaire Before 30. And he's sending out offers with something called Offer Gun. offer gun. I was texting with the owner of it today. I'm going to get the the specifics on it, but apparently it just sends out offers for you. Absolutely incredible. $199 a month. Yeah, I got it. Okay, Glow 163 Cross. When driving for dollars, should you get out of the car to take pictures of a private property, or is that considered trespassing? I don't know. I'm not a trespassing attorney. I don't, I don't think so. I know that Google Maps drives around. But why would you take a picture of the property? Get the property under contract, then take pictures of the property. Don't waste your time. I mean, maybe if it's like one of those things where it goes on like a postcard that you can send them through Deal Machine, I kind of get that. But we used to do those. We used to do these postcards with the picture of the house on the front of it, and people would call us up and be pissed. Now, it's a good way to open up a conversation. Jason's there. No, it's not trespassing. No, listen, it's, when I was door knocking, when I was completely flat, dead, super broke, and the only thing that I could do is knock on door. There's another way, zero money, to go find some deals is door knocking. When I was doing that, if they had a no trespassing sign or no soliciting, I would just move on. A lot of people don't. A lot of people, especially if it's like on a code violation list or if it's on a pre-foreclosure list or something like that, they just keep rocking and rolling. Yeah, I don't think that's trespassing, but check with your local, government. Kevin, how do I get a property under contract when it's an off-market deal? You go to the property, you meet the property owner, or you do this virtually over the phone. You send them an agreement, or you go through the agreement. They sign it. You sign it. You have a property under contract. You have an executed contract. You have a property. You have an asset now that you have exclusive rights to purchase that property. Isn't that awesome? Properties don't have to go on the market. Plenty of properties sell off market. The market is just used to get the most eyeballs on a property so that the sellers can have as many ready, willing, and able buyers looking at it and evaluating that deal to see if they want to buy it. But if people want just a private sale, it's just between you and them. You could do it on a napkin. I've done it on a napkin. It's like a rite of passage, I think. Nicholas, hey, Brent. Thanks for keeping the ship sailing. Can you buying using creative if the seller needs to 1031? Typically not. Sometimes, but typically not. I mean, you are taking ownership, and they are maybe there's a significant down payment that you're putting down. But for the most part, in my experience, when they're 1031 exchanging, they're selling. They want to get all their money out of one property and put it into the other. And so, the great question. If somebody has a further knowledge on 1031s and what needs to happen there, that'd be awesome. All right. How much of a clean do I do when doing takedown method? How much should I spend before listing? It depends, Eric. I mean, I know that that's the universal attorney answer for everything, but it just depends. I mean, if it doesn't need, does it need carpet and paint? And you can find somebody that can knock that out in a weekend and be done. Great, do it. But if it's something that needs significant remodeling and needs significant updating, what I would do is I would get a junk person out there and just get it cleared out so that it's not totally disgusting. Just junk it all out, get it so that it's, you put a lockbox on it and rock and roll. Yeah. Jeffrey says there is a creative finance 1031. Awesome. Explain it in the chat, brother. Here we go. No limit for life. Ever use government funding to achieve zero out-of-pocket costs? I want to do affordable housing. That's awesome. No. Nope. I haven't used government funding, but I mean, most FHA loans are government funding, with 3% down, but 0% out of pocket. You'd have to qualify for some sort of loan. I don't know what loans those are. No idea. Guys, I work in cash. I keep this real simple. Just really, 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 really simple. Probably a better question for Pace or Jerry. But I just look for ugly houses. I give them a cash offer. I'll close on it if I need to. If I don't, I'll assign it to one of my investor buyers, and we average 23,000 doing that. Yeah, I know VA loans are 0% down, but that's a whole different thing. I mean, if you're a VA, sure, go for it. But I don't think that's the affordable housing he's talking about. So, and then from there, you want to do affordable housing for what? For yourself? You want to get like loans to provide affordable housing? What does that mean? And then if you know some way that No Limit for Life can get zero out of pocket loans for affordable housing, let them know. The real Terry. Question, Brent. Can a person wholesale a property they own to his or her own LLC to hold as an asset in the LLC's portfolio? Yeah, sure. Why not? You're just paying yourself. But if you're doing a flip, people do that in their own company. They'll get the property, they'll assign it to another company that they own. They'll do the flip, they'll sell it, and then so they get a little bit of money up front. But then it's just coming from your own account or from a lender. But yeah, Eddie Para, love you too, brother. On calls all day. I know. In the Rhino Tribe, every Monday we do Empty the Clip. Empty the Clip is talking to 100 new property owners in one day. 100 new property owners in one day. We have a bunch of people doing it. We have Eugene Lotson, who's doing the Empty the Clip for 30 straight days. He's going to talk to 100 people. But his business is going to go bananas. Absolutely bananas. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. Can a person wholesale a property they own yeah. All right. Are you removing these as I'm doing it? All right, hold on. All right. Karatala Group. Karatala? Awesome. Cool word either way. I'm a realtor broker, 25 years. Wish I discovered wholesale and flips 20 years ago. I've done 4 flips, 4 wholesale deals, all organic from my database in the last 18 months. Hold on. Come on. Yeah, at some point, you're going to have to get into pay-per-click. Yeah, if you have money but no time, you need really quality leads coming in all the time. All right? And so if you want, I encourage you to go to talktopeople.com. We've got unbelievable resources for building out pay-per-click campaigns. Talktopeople.com and just have a conversation with us. Because I think that's where it's at. I would do either maybe pay-per-lead, but I think because you're so experienced, and you've already been closing and doing these things, I would have an absolute savage pay-per-click campaign that's going to get you the best leads that are going to feed your sales guys, and your sales guys are going to go. They're going to love it. They're going to make so much, and you're going to make so much, and it's going to work out really, really well. So I would do pay-per-click for sure, 100% for long-term strategy. And the sooner you start it, the longer your account goes with Google, the better. You end up getting higher and higher and higher and more efficient. So, yep. The best social experiences channel. What's your opinion on market leads? Would you go after 30 day plus on market listing, or would you be one of the first people to make an offer as soon as it hits the MLS? Give me some stats on this, please. I don't go for on market deals. Plenty of people in here do. Every time that I have, it's been seasoned. Yeah. I mean, you can work the strategy here. I'm going to give you a couple other strategies that I know work. And the reason I don't do it is just because we just have too many leads coming from off market. But what I would do is I would do a couple different things. One, go after all the ones that are seasoned, that have been sitting there, and see if the seller is going to be reasonable. Two, I would look for the properties that went under contract fast, and I'd put a backup offer on them. And then just build a relationship with that agent. Just say, hey, listen, if they get wiggly with this conversation, with this transaction, then just reach out to me. I'd love to close this deal for you. I'd love to get this done. I'd love to work with you. And then that whole time that you have a backup offer in with that property and that listing agent, you talk to them and reach out to them and try to build a relationship to get referrals before they hit the market. But I can't give you the stats because I don't do that. But I'm sure somebody in here can give you the stats. But yeah, every time that I've gotten deals on the MLS, we're seasoned. All right. Oh, Fabian Romero. What's good, Brent? What's your craziest door knocking story? I'll tell you what. People think it's the pit bulls. People think it's like the Rottweilers. People think it's like the Dobermans. People think it's like these the chows, although I have been bitten by a chow before, but that was showing a property, not door knocking. It's the little dogs, bro. The little dogs coming after your ankles and your legs, they come out of nowhere. It's like they can escape the house no matter what. And they come out and they are rabid. I mean, they are going. But I had a guy, a gentleman that likes gentlemen, and knocked on the door, and he was laying it on thick, and he was top 10 ugliest dudes I've ever seen in my life. But he had confidence. He's like, hey, I just made a bunch of lemonade. You want to come inside and see my house and have some lemonade? Right. And I was like, oh man, you know what? I'm good. You know, I'm doing all right. I got to keep going and find a house to buy today, but I really appreciate it. But he was wearing like a mesh tank top, long hair, probably had smoked 2 million cigarettes in his life, missing teeth, the whole thing, little booty shorts, and was ready to rock and roll. But I had to escape that pretty fast. It does. It's like the guy from Family Guy. Nice. Daniel, great question. Brent, how easy is it to build a cash buyers list? Listen, cash buyers, what I would highly suggest that you do is obviously reach out to any properties that are getting flipped. Make sure you reach out to the listing agent on those. Say something nice about the property. Oh, I love those cabinets you put in. Oh, that granite countertop's really handsome. That looks great. Whatever, right? Like just have conversations, compliment something about their property, and see if they want to do more deals. All right. The other thing is you can pull a list of cash buyers easily from PropWire right here. You can see the cash buyers in the area so that they're right here, cash buyers, right? And you can go and just filter them out. And then typically, oh, shoot. Got to share this. You can share screen. Boom. Little plug for Jerry here. But you can go right here into the cash buyers and find all those cash buyers and then reach out to them. Now, typically what you want to do is you want to make sure that they're cash buyers. You want to make sure that they're absentee owners, right? You don't want to get the cash buyers that are buying like, multi-million-dollar houses for themselves. And that's a really good way to to build your cash buyers. Also, you can go into LinkedIn. LinkedIn's always slept on. I like going into LinkedIn looking for searching. Go into the search area and just type in real estate investor. You could type in contractor, any of those things, and find some really, really, really great place. All right. Is that tongue and groove carpentry? I'm telling you, you knock on some doors, you're going to meet some characters. You're going to meet some characters. But here's the main point. All right. This is what I really realized being out there is you give me a name, an address, and a phone number of somebody that wants to sell their property, and that property needs investment. And that's all I need. That's all I need. If you really boil it all down, give me a name, address, phone number, and just let me loose. And you'll see, I've been the judge on the Closers Olympics for every time it's been around, for some other, the Closers Octagon. And truly the best closers, all they need is a name, address, and phone number. That's it. That's all they need. Would you agree, Jerry Norton? Jerry's coming on at some point. There he is. Oh, and there he goes. Anyway. Elaine, love you too. What's the best list to target right now? That is a great, great question. And I think one for the flipping master, Jerry Norton. Jerry, what's the best list to target right now? Jerry, can you hear us? We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm breaking up. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
All right. Hey, thanks for holding down the fort, Brent. Sorry I'm late.
What's the best list, Jerry?
Best list. Okay. I mean, I've got my favorites that I like to do. I don't know if it's necessarily the best list, but I really like stacking. So anything high equity is always a great one where you put that against something else. I like tired landlords just because I like that type of seller to work with. So that's one of my favorites is tired landlords.
Yep.
I'd say that's probably one of my favorites is tired landlords. Do you like tired landlords, Brent?
Love it. I mean, if you look at our deals, Jerry, even the inherited, but we look at like what's their like seed of motivation. I would say 70% of the deals that we have come from tired landlords.
Absentee owner.
And the family inherits it, right? It's been, beat up. It's been, in rough shape. Most of the driving for dollars leads that we have are tired landlords. And it's one of those things, right, Jerry? It's the number one most common thing that happens with tenants and landlords. Hey, I won't raise the rent, but you don't call me when stuff breaks, right? And then all of a sudden, they go on for 10 years.
And there's a couple ways.
Good.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to look at that list too. Like there's absentee where it means it's a non-owner occupied property, which means it's probably a rental, but then you can also do out of state. And out of state tired landlords are even a better list because there's even more motivation because they tend to struggle even more to manage that property. A lot of them are not really, they're not really like real landlords. They're more like they moved and they kept their old house type of thing. Because a lot of people, they'll move out of state for like a job and they'll keep their house and rent it. Well, typically they're going to mismanage that rental and then they're going to have problems. And at some point in time, they're going to be highly motivated to get rid of that problem.
Yep. Love it. MMA plug. Brent closed $50K in October of last year, closed another $41K this month. Do I go PPC? Have had a VA calling for a couple years and trying to find next lead gen. Love you, brother. Thank you. Yes. Come on. First of all.
Yeah, that's great.
Check us out. Talktopeople.com. Listen, if you could figure out PPC yourself, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Don't worry about it. Keep it in-house, learn it, do it, go for it. If you want to just have people that have extreme amounts of experience and have spent a lot in pay-per-click, go to talktopeople.com. But yeah,
Hey,
I mean, I
Brent,
think that you're probably close. Yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
with your agency, what do you recommend a budget and a runway for PPC? What's your go-to number?
Yeah, minimum 6 months.
Okay.
Minimum 6 months commitment. You have to commit to 6 months. Usually in the first 90 days, you're going to start building momentum. And if you're in a small market, you don't want to be spending less than 3 to 5,000. And if you're in a bigger market, no less than 75 to 10 grand a month.
Okay.
What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, I kind of think 5K minimum and a 6-month runway, or don't do it. Like if you can't dedicate $5,000 a month for 6 months, you're not ready yet. Not only that, but you also have to have your processes dialed in to where you can get on those form leads like the second they come in.
Yes. Well, that's critical. Listen, you have 60 seconds. When a lead comes in and they fill out that form, you have 60 seconds to respond and get them on the phone. Because I'm telling you, after 60 seconds, it just slides right off. They're moving on to something else, right? And most of them, most of the people filling it out, which is interesting, are on their phone, guys. They're not sitting in front of a computer. They're not doing that. They're on their phone and they're filling it out. Somewhere between 70 and 80% are mobile devices. That means as soon as a notification pops up, as soon as they get out of the, they're no longer searching on their browser. They're off onto Instagram or whatever, TikTok. And then, you try to reach out to them. They're not answering. So you got to catch them while they're hot, and speed matters. Speed matters. So important. And if they call your website number, you better answer live.
Yep. I would add to that too. One thing that we've been doing, Brent, and I'd love your take on this is, if they don't answer that form lead, 60 seconds, right? You call it and they don't answer, double dial, triple dial, text, all the things, but then we'll jump in the car and drive to the property.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe you can catch them there like that. These leads are gold, guys. Like these are your deep buys. These are your $30,000 to $50,000 wholesale deals, right? Like they're huge, and you spend all this money. You have to treat those leads much differently. One thing I would say too is if you've got a team, like going back to that guy, Brent, that said that he's going to need to train if he's not the acquisitions guy, if he's got someone doing it, you have to train your acquisitions guy on PPC much differently than how they've been handling cold calling, because cold calling sales guys, they're trained for a long cycle. So they're used to like lots of follow-up, and they're used to lots of pre-qualifying. And, PPC leads, it's like you don't really even need to pre-qualify. There's high intent. Just know there's high intent and treat that with a lot more urgency than you do your cold call strategy.
100%. We looked at the numbers, Jerry, with TV, it was 32 days. With pay-per-click, it was 45 days. With calling, it was 115 days, and texting 120 days from the initial contact to us getting closed and paid. So it's much faster once you can get into paid inbound marketing. And you have one of the most brilliant presentations on this on the internet, breaking down the different stages that investors go through. And I did this, Jerry. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is what I led with. And maybe it's a little bit hard for you to see there. Yeah, it's the part-time, no money, and new versus part-time, no money and experience versus part-time money and part-time have a budget, and part-time have a budget and is experience. Like that really matters. Those three factors. Are you part-time or full-time? Do you have a budget or don't have a budget? And are you new or experienced? And that really dictates, I think this falls right in line with your presentation that you did, really showing that there's, certain stages that everybody goes through when they're starting out and when they're building their momentum. What's the name of that video for everybody to watch afterwards?
Yeah, I can grab the link real quick and throw it in the chat there. Yeah, but I think it's like it's something like how to build a $1 million business, and it goes through like the stages of development, and that's exactly what you showed there. In the beginning, most people are time but no money, or some time but no money. That's the majority of people. Every now and then someone comes in and they've got great experience in sales, at least they've got some budget money, and like you said, you're gonna what you do is going to be very differently in most cases than.
Yep.
So I love that, Brent, because it isn't one size fits all. Everyone's going to be a little bit unique in where they're at in their journey, for sure. So,
how do you approach agents now? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm good. So with the new bar settlement.
Yep.
So been doing a lot of calls, especially with the show I started back up again, where I'll like randomly call, I'll find a deal, randomly call, make the offer. And so far, there's been no difference whatsoever. Like the conversations aren't different. None of it's different. And I don't anticipate it being a whole lot different following the way I like to do it, which is I'm not working with buyer's agents at all. So the NAR settlement primarily affected buyer's agents. So I've never did use buyer's agents. I go directly to the listing agent. But I think in time that conversation will start to shift. The strategy will start to shift because I'm pretty convinced that this isn't just going to impact buyer's agents with, new ideas on how to structure commission, but I think it's going to roll over to listing agents because if the conversation is now, well, tell me why I should be paying you what I'm paying you and tell me how this is supposed to work and how are we justifying this? And a buyer's agent has to justify their fees now.
Yep.
And they actually have to be really good at a sales presentation. Well, that's going to roll into the listing agent too. Like, why are we not going to be questioning, well, why am I paying 3% for you to list my property? And so you're going to start to see a lot more flexibility in how commissions are handled on both sides. So, I think that'll take a minute maybe, but yeah.
Love it. What happens when you get a property under contract, but don't have a buyer?
Find it. Wholesale. Yeah. Brent, what camp are you in, Brent? Are you in the camp of, in the beginning, find a buyer first, then find a deal, or find a deal, then find a buyer? Where do you sit on that?
If you're in a smaller market, I would highly suggest you find your buyers first. If you're in a bigger market, your people are chomping at the bit to find it. So I think it's market dependent. It truly is. Like if you're trying to sell a property in Williams, Arizona, right, versus selling a property in Gilbert, Arizona, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have no problem selling it in Gilbert or Scottsdale versus, Williams, Arizona. But if you're in Williams and it's a smaller town and 30,000 people live there and you're not really sure what what is the climate on wholesaling? What is the climate on who does the most fix and flips? Are there just a few investors that are kind of in cahoots where I see that sometimes, Jerry, right? Where it's just a few investors really own a small little market and they get really angry if you get these deals and they don't get the deals, or if you don't bring it to them. So I think that if you're in a smaller market, find the buyers in this current economy. Where there's still people and lack of inventory and things are moving pretty fast.
Yeah, I think I get this question quite often, and it's a very common concern for new wholesalers.
Yeah.
I think there's ways to mitigate that concern. I think there's ways to, in my mind, you're really worrying about something before you need to be worrying about it, right? So in most cases, buyers in any given market, they're there and they're ready and willing to buy. Brent brought up some really good points about size of your market, but really what you need to do is just go get a good deal. And I've never had a good deal and not found a buyer ever.
Yep.
So you're kind of worrying about something you shouldn't be worrying about. What you should be worrying about is getting a good deal, right? So, and in the event you mess that up, which you probably will, like most people mess it up, like you over contract, and that's normal. Mm-hmm. So just normalize it first. Like, don't be so worried about, well, what happens if I'm off? You're going to get off. And if you're not off on your first one, it might be your second one, right? But you're going to get off because you're learning and you don't have it all figured out yet. So what I recommend is make sure that the way that you can mitigate that is you can have a conversation up front with an agent or a seller. Yep. And you can say, look, I think this number is really good. I feel really good about this number. I'm not 100% certain because I have to do some more due diligence. Like I really need to dig into the condition a little bit more. I need to talk to my investors and make sure that we can do this deal. So all I need is a little bit of time. I need to do a little bit of due diligence. Give me 5 days, give me 7 days, give me 10 days, give me whatever you can get, but give me a little bit of due diligence in my contract. If for any reason at all, this number doesn't work after we do due diligence, I'm going to let you know right away. I'm not going to string you along. I just need a few days. And so what I do is I'm pre-teaching the seller or the agent that I might be coming back to you and telling you that this deal doesn't actually work for me. So then when you do that and you find out, oh crap, the best buyer I can find is $10,000, more than or less than my contract. I got a problem here. You're not having an awkward conversation now with the seller or the agent. You're not, because you didn't promise them, yeah, for sure I'm going to buy it at this number. Yeah, without a doubt, this is a deal. Start packing your bags. I don't like to do that. I like to tell them ahead of time that I may have to come back and talk about this. But I tell them, I'm saying, look, I can't really spend my time and resources doing due diligence if we don't have an agreement in place. So let's get an agreement in place. Let's have a few days of due diligence. And then when that due diligence is up, I'll go hard on my contract. I'll go hard on earnest money, right? And we'll move to the finish line. Now, what that means now is it means that short window of 5 days or whatever, that's your window. Like you've got to find a buyer. You've got to know if you've got a deal or not. So you got to like, it's all on. Like you've got to talk to 1,000 cash buyers and you'll know real quickly if you have a deal.
Love it. And setting those expectations, right? Like if you're just going, you're like, I'm going to buy it. It's going to be cash. It's going to be the easiest sale you've ever done, blah, 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 blah. And then you try to go back and, renegotiate. You lost a tremendous amount of trust there. This is a great question. And I think you know the answer to it here. Where can you find wholesale rules for all of the country, Jerry?
Yeah, if you go to wholesaleregulations.com, you can get a PDF that I keep updated, and it goes through state by state and even some of the cities and their regulations. So that'll give you a really good.
It's so
really
good
overview.
It is so good. It's something that you need to download. I was going through it and Jerry's updating it all the time because different states work differently. Right. And so it's really, really, really important to know and to be compliant in your state so that you can build a long lasting, profitable, predictable business and not just go and just do one deal and try to be all sneaky with it. Like do it the right way 100%. All right. Where was that question? So make sure if you'll put that in the chat, Jerry, that'd be awesome. Whatever that's, I got some more start here. Here's another one for you, Jerry, by the way. Question for Jerry Norton when he gets here. Where can I find the interest rate within PropWire? If it's a conventional loan, where's the interest rate?
I'm going to have to check. I don't think we have that data quite yet, but we're working with a new data provider where we're going to get more mortgage data than we're getting right now. So that'll be coming shortly. Because you're right, we have the lender and what type of loan, but we don't yet have their rates. But that is on the radar, so we'll have that shortly. I think in June we're doing a big, massive data upgrade with some new data providers too. So great question.
Awesome. Here we go. Jerry, I'm on my first deal. I have 3 properties. I'm wanting you to take over here in Washington State. I highly appreciate it.
Where in Washington State? Because I work pretty aggressively with a partner in the Seattle, Tacoma area. So, yeah, I would love to see what you've got there.
Should they just DM you the details or something?
Yeah, I mean, if they're under contract, you can go to dispowithjerry.com and that'll get in front of my JV team. So we can look at JVing with you.
Kim, hey, Brent, how long do you stay on the phone to get to 100 contacts a day, and how do you get a good contact rate? Great question. So, Jerry, every Monday in the Rhino tribe, they do empty the clip, right, where you talk to 100 new property owners that day, right, all in one day. And
cold call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whether it be agents or whether it be property owners, doesn't matter. Just 100 contacts a day. Usually it's going to take like 8 hours. Sometimes it's like 12 hours. The fastest I think somebody's done it is like 6.5 or 6. And the most contacts was by Eugene Lotson III, and he did 170 contacts in one day, Jerry.
Wow.
170. Can you lose?
How did
you
oh.
lose?
How did he get through so many?
Well, first of all, he was a former unbelievable college wrestler, right? So he's just got that dog in him, right?
Yeah.
He's just got that grind, right? And so he just goes. He just presses go and does it. Typically, Kim, you're going to need a dialer. And most of the people that I work with use Mojo Dialer, and that's how you get a nice, consistent contact rate. The other thing is you have to switch up your caller ID number every hour, and that usually helps you to get that kind of contacts. All right, awesome. So great question though. Here's a good question. Billy Swinton asks, "What is the first staff member to hire, Jerry?"
You're not going to probably expect this answer, but if you're married with kids, I guess even if you're just married, I think your first hire is in your home, not in your business.
Go ahead. Elaborate, brother.
I mean, I have a full-time grounds guy that does maintenance on the house, does all the yard, all the vehicles. We have full-time cleaning person. We have some, I mean, we homeschool, so we also have some tutors and nannies and stuff like that. But I can hyper focus on my business if I know that the things at home are being taken care of well.
Yep.
So, and that's investing also in your relationship, right? With your spouse, with your kids. I want to be, when I'm not working, I want to be all in and I want to be doing things that I actually enjoy doing in the home. So some of those hires to me have allowed me to grow my business so much faster than if I hired like an assistant in the business or something like that. Right. And then you're done with work and your home environment's like chaotic. It's hard to be effective in business if your home is chaos.
That's an interesting thing. It's like, I don't own a lawnmower. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I've got a half-acre property in Century.
Yeah.
Huh?
If you like the mow the lawn and that's therapeutic, I get it. But
it's also like,
dude,
it's also like, you know, we've got, right, like you were saying, the cleaners, we've got landscapers, we got handyman, we got all these other things that do kind of the honeydew projects, so that I can, you know, focus on Monday through Friday at least, growing the business, and then Saturday, Sunday, when the children are loose, and you get to spend time with everybody. It's awesome. I mean, how do you balance that, Jerry? I mean, you've got a lot of different things you're doing. You're doing development. You're living in Puerto Rico, and I mean, most of the year, but you also have a place in Montana. Is it like you sprint when you're in Puerto Rico and then like chill when you're in Montana? Like how do you balance? Or how do you find harmony? I don't believe there is balance as entrepreneurs. I truly don't. There can only be harmony. And so a lot of that has to do with the conversations we have with our family and our spouses, certainly. But how do you balance? I mean, how does it work in your house?
I mean, sometimes I balance it better than others, or I juggle it all better than others. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I do better than others, but, I try to make Montana a place that's more relaxing, doing fun, playing. So we try to make that environment that way. Same with the kids. So when we're in Puerto Rico, they're all in, like it's school time, it's work time. Now we still play and try to balance that time there too. But my wife is amazing. We legit run a business at home. Like it's a full blown business. I mean, we probably have, I don't know, how many do you think, Am? 6 or 7 full-time employees that are centered around the home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
If you count tutors and nannying and that's a lot. And then the house.
Systems manager. We
have.
And then
Now some of the business people overlap into that. Like our bookkeeper handles all of our personal finance too, and the business finance. Yeah. And then our operations manager in the business also overlaps a little bit into the lifestyle stuff. But you have to, I mean, if you really want to do it well, and I want to do it well, I don't want to just do business well. I want to do it all well. I want to do my marriage well, my family well, being a dad well. And that takes a team, right? It takes work and effort and a system, just like a business. I can't tell you, Brent, how many people I see where they focus on these business systems, but yet they run their own life so chaotic, and they neglect so much of their personal side in the pursuit of building the business. And I think that's dangerous. I think one day you might wake up and have money in the bank, but you don't have a good relationship with your kids, with your spouse, and I mean, what's the point then if that all goes to pot, right?
Yep. Totally agree. Otis asks, and I love that. Yeah, I'm thinking of all the people that come into my house on a weekly basis. We got the pest control guy. You know what I mean? We've got the pool guy. We've got my aunt that helps out picking up the kids. You know, my parents down the street help with babysitting the kids on Saturdays.
Food.
Like that.
Food is a huge thing.
Yeah. Love it.
Just food, Otis, right? Like buying the food, preparing the food, like
cooking, doing all that. Yeah. I mean, everything. I mean, we get pre-made meals, we get all this stuff. Uber Eats, that type of thing. It's Otis asks, will using a conversational chatbot be helpful in making offers through SMS? What do you think, Jerry? I've got an opinion on.
I mean, they're getting better. Chatbots. Yeah. I mean, I haven't transitioned all the way into that. I know they're getting better and better at it. I think it's going to be a thing that we do quite often. I don't know. I'm not totally converted on it yet. What do you think, Brent?
I think that they lack critical thinking skills, just like most VAs. Being able to move on their feet and be able to adjust and be able to open up people's emotions to a conversation, really understanding the issues and the problems and the just what's going on inside their own head. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think people set it up and it's because it's cheap to do and it might get you deals here and there. I don't think you can run a multi-million-dollar business with it.
Yeah. I don't think it's ready for sales yet. Maybe for pre-qualifying.
Maybe for some follow-up, maybe, I don't know, but a conversational chat bot, it's like, I mean, I feel like people know, I don't know, but they're going to have AI, like people on the phone, all sorts of things. So who knows, but you test it with anything, test it. As long as it's not too expensive of a test, the answer is always test it. And if it works, great. I hope it does. If it doesn't work, then adjust. But what I would say is your mindset is strengthened by your ability to build your skills. And to build your skills, you need reps. To build your skills of understanding what a deal is, you need reps. You need experience. You need to go through that. You need to have a lot of conversations with people that own real estate. And so that's like number one, increase your mindset, increase your skills. So I just think, and this is just my personal thing, Jerry, I want to do all of it in the beginning so that I really understand what is going on here and I can really develop the skills and then I can really grow a longer, more profitable business. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to develop a team if you're not proficient, at least proficient in those different areas. Mm-hmm. And so, I think sales is the biggest one. Like, you better be a closer, learn to be a closer. I don't know that you could really build this business well if you yourself aren't a really good closer.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to lead your team and train your team in both acquisition and disposition. And you better be good at that. And even if you start to scale and you don't feel like you're there yet, stay on. Like I still want to be on the phones as often as I can to keep that skill sharp. And I don't ever want to lose that skill. Like it's just a valuable skill. And I don't know if it's like riding a bike, maybe it is, but I feel like that's something that you're always going to want to develop is being able to talk to sellers, talk to buyers, and structure deals and be able to recognize and put a deal together. Learning that and mastering that is just a lifelong thing from now on.
100%.
100%.
Jerry, how long are you in Orlando now?
Yeah, finally we're in our hotel room. Yep.
And you're there all week?
Yeah, we're here till Friday. So I'm I'm speaking. I got one speaking spot on Thursday, I think. And so, yeah, we're gonna be around all week and do a little playing, and it's just Amory and I, so no kids. So it's gonna be fun.
Whoa! Yes,
Yeah,
that
no
is
kids.
awesome. So is it like
Great.
Disney World or what? Are you guys doing that whole thing?
We'll do Disney. Yeah, we're gonna do Disney tomorrow, which is the first time. I mean, we do Disney probably like 4 times a year.
Yeah.
We do too. My wife's saying we don't go 4 times a year. Okay, you're right, 5. So this is the first time ever with no kids. So we're gonna do it with no kids and see what that's like. I'll let you know, Brent, if it's more fun without kids.
That would be my wife's dream, and I guarantee you it will be. Anyway, awesome, guys. If you guys, oh yeah, hey guys, if you're not subscribed to Jerry Norton's YouTube channel, Jamil Damji's YouTube channel, Pace Morby's YouTube channel, and mine, Brent Daniels' YouTube channel, make sure that you give us a subscribe. We do live shows every single week. I go Monday, I go Wednesday for 3 hours. Jerry does an incredible amount of content on his channel and has helped out just countless people to get their first deals and to really grow their business. So make sure that you're subscribed to all of us. Make sure that you're joining us on Mondays, and make sure you join me on Wednesdays. Jerry, anything else noteworthy that you want to end the show with?
No, that's great. Thanks for holding down the fort, Brent. Sorry I got here late, but even the little bit I just really, really appreciate all that I learned from you and spending time with you. So thank you.
Thanks for coming on here and jumping on. I know that you've been running around and getting settled, so that is awesome. Enjoy Disney World, and everybody out there, go and talk to people today. Find an opportunity this week that you can be proud of, that you can sell, and bring it back to the show so that we can ring this victory bell. We'll see you next week, guys. Love you. See ya.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say that thing.
Why?
I don't know. I
Okay.
forgot. So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.